One of my first ever video reviews on this channel for anything related to power banks or solar charging was this guy right here, this Blavor power bank that's got integrated solar panels. And while the power bank itself was pretty decent, I think the solar charging was kind of more of a gimmick, or at least a better than nothing solution. But fast forward a couple of years, I've got a product right here which I'm excited to test out. It's basically an update to this, but with hopefully a much better solar panel and also a more updated power bank. So let's check it out. Hey everybody, it's Chris from Family Geekery, and today we're going to be checking out this product right here from AUTEL. And I found this on Amazon. I got it on a good deal, and I'm excited to start testing it out. But basically inside this box, which I'm just about to open, is a power bank and a solar panel. And as you can tell by the size of the box, it's obviously small enough to be considered portable. The power bank I think is going to be great by itself, and if the solar panel works half as well as what I think it will, then it's going to be a kind of nifty solution for either camping or just emergency backup, because we can never have too much power around the house. So let's get this box open and see what's inside. So if we give bonus points out for packaging, I think this one's going to actually win. This is actually a really neat, little clamshell box or something. Really nice details. Got a nice little logo here. It says "Make Green Energy Accessible and Sustainable." But it opens up and you're presented with your portable solar panel and your power bank. So let's get these out and check them out. Alright, so let's check out what came inside the box. We've got, of course, this is a solar panel. And it reminds me a lot of the design of the EcoFlow portable, like the 45 watt one. This one I believe is 36 watts. We'll look at all the specs in just a second. Then we got the power bank here. And it's a good looking power bank. It's got some pretty neat features. The specs aren't going to be the highest as far as power delivery and stuff, but it's going to work great for what we need it for. And then it came with a USB-C to USB-C cable, in addition to the one that's built into the side. And then a USB-C to USB adapter in case your charger cable needs that. And then a couple small carabiners for hanging this up on something. But let's talk about some of the specs. We'll start off with the solar panel itself. And this solar panel is rated at 36 watts. And it has one simple connection right here of USB-C. So underneath this little protective dust cap is USB-C. And that's it. So if we open this up, we've got, 4 panels for solar. And it all folds up nice and small, about the size of a sheet of notebook paper. So pretty cool. And if we look at the specs on the power bank itself, it's rated at 15,000 milliamp hours. But more importantly, if you look at the watt hours, it's 48 watt hours, which is decent. 100 watt hours is allowed on a plane, so this definitely fits into that category. And more importantly, the batteries are lithium iron phosphate, which is not common in a small power bank like this. We see that a lot in the huge solar generators and the big power stations, but not usually in these smaller power banks. So that's really neat, and that lithium iron phosphate just means you're going to get a lot more recharge cycles out of this thing than you would if it was just regular lithium ion. Now, as far as the rest of the features on this, we've got a USB-A and USB-C here on the top or bottom, however you want to look at that. We've got this USB-C cable on the side here that comes out, and it seems to kind of snap in place there. And then we've got a watch charger right here, which is kind of nifty. Now, as far as what kind of speeds you can get out of it, or what kind of charging rates you can get out of it, they're all listed right here. Kind of hard to see. But the input charging rate is 5 volts at 3 amps or 9 volts at 2 amps. So basically 18 watts max. And the outputs on all the different ports there are going to be very similar, close to 18 watts each, with a total maximum output from all the ports of 22.5. So like I said, not the best specs as far as if you need this thing to charge up a laptop, it's not going to do that. But for all your phone needs and of course the watch charger, that's going to be completely fine for that. Now it's interesting that we have a 36 watt solar panel and a maximum 18 watt input on here. But I guess that's better than having a 36 watt input and an 18 watt solar panel. And my intent is to go ahead and take this thing outside today and do some tests and see what kind of charging speeds we get out of it. Because just because it says 36 watts doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be providing 36 watts all the time. That's probably rated at the absolute perfect sun exposure. So like I said, I hope we've got some pretty good conditions out today. I hope we can get some pretty decent tests out of this thing. But if you're looking at this as a solution for like camping or something like that, draping this over your backpack while you're hiking, or just putting it at your campsite, throwing it out on the table, and recharging your battery, or basically any other device that will take USB-C, then even at that 18 watts input here, you can fill this thing up in a couple hours, provided you have decent sun. So just throw the panel out in the middle of the day, hook it up to something, and you'll get some juice. So let me do a couple quick tests with the power bank itself, and then we'll go outside and start playing with the solar panel. Alright, so let's start off by charging this thing up and seeing what kind of charge speed it's got into it. And I believe the input spec said 18 watts. So I've got this little anchor guy here with a built-in cable and a little screen that shows how much it's charging with. So the port labeled up here is in-out 2. So it's an input and output. So let's go ahead and plug that in here. And we should get a reading on here once it starts charging. And it went right up to 17 watts. So that's pretty darn close to that 18 watts. Usually it's just a mixture of the voltage and current. That's just a tiny bit underneath the spec that's making that happen. So that's completely normal. Now I'm curious to see if this cable here, which is not labeled as an in-out, it's just labeled as an out. But just curious to see if it's actually an input also. So let's unplug this. Take this guy out here. Plug it into the side. Hope we don't blow anything up. And it looks like it's an input also. So we got 17 watts going in there. So those two cables, the built-in cable and the in-out port, should be rated at the same amount. So at least we know now what it's capable of charging at, so that when we plug this in outside, we'll see what kind of speed we get coming in here. Now there's no built-in screen on this to show us what the input is, but I've got little inline meters here that should be able to tell us what the charging speed is. So let me find a way to test the output real quick. Alright, so to test the output of here, I've just got a cable going from the in-out port here to a little power meter going into an iPad mini. And the iPad mini should be able to call for about 20 to 25 watts max. And we have no control over what it's asking for, so that's going to be the limiting factor of what we see come through here. But this is rated at sending out 12 volts, a little over 1.5 amps. So 1.5 amps would be 18 watts. I think it's 1.67, which is probably 20 watts. And on the screen here where I'm seeing 12 volts, a little over 12 volts, about 1.25 amps, so about 15 watts. And like I said, that might just be what this particular iPad mini is calling for. But either way, the fact that it's sending out the 12 volts that it says is a good sign. And the difference really between 15 watts and 20 watts in the grand scheme of things is not that huge on something like a phone or an iPad mini. Like I said before, we're not going to be using this to charge up a MacBook Pro or something. I've done lots of reviews on power banks that can do that, and 100 watts, 140 watts output. We're just looking at something to keep our phones charged up throughout our many adventures. So far so good. Let's go ahead and take the solar panel outside and do some tests with it. Alright, so it is the dead of winter out here, and we did just have some snow, but I'm lucky enough to have a bright sunny day. And I do live up in the northeast a little bit, so the sun is kind of low on the horizon. I've just got this flat on my driveway right here, and we are seeing, just shy of 12 volts, 0.7 amps, so about 8 watts. Now this is obviously not ideal because that's not pointing near the sun at all. The sun is just barely clearing my roof line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to angle this thing up with one hand and then record this guy with my other hand and see how well that works. But let me set this down for a second and let's angle this up. So now that I've got it angled up, and this is not scientifically angled or anything, I'm just kind of pointing it towards the sun. We can see now 12 volts, 1.46 amps, so right under 18 watts. So that's exactly what we're looking for with this. And I've even got the cable that's going to this thing, because of the amount of hands I've got, the cable's draped across the solar panels. So that's not ideal either. Let me see if that changes any if I change that around behind it. It was causing a little bit of a shadow. But yeah, we're getting about the same. 12 volts, 1.5 amps, just shy of 18 watts. So this panel is pumping out enough to max out this battery bank, which is good. Let me see if I can bring something out here that will take more than that 18 watts and see if we can get closer to the 36 watts max. Alright, so now I've got the solar panel plugged into this Anker Solix C300 DC, which can obviously take a bunch of power into that USB-C port, up to 140 watts. So now that's not the limiting factor. Now it's just the solar panel. And again, I've got my hands full, so this is not a great angle, but I hope you can see there are 25 watts coming in, and I can't quite get up to that 36 watt output. But again, the sun is moving fast. I've got a bunch of trees I'm competing with. This is far from ideal solar output from the sun here, but I'm pretty sure if you were in the middle of the summer, sun was shining bright, that you would be able to get 36 watts out of this thing. All right, before we summarize everything, I just wanted to show you that yes, it does charge an Apple Watch, and all I did was just place it right on top of there. I did have to hit the power button here just to tell it to output something. That's a nice little nifty add-on if you're going to be traveling and you want something portable to charge all your stuff. That's just one less cable you need to bring. So let's go ahead and summarize everything that we saw in these tests. We've got a power bank here with lithium iron phosphate batteries. That's really cool. It's got a decent capacity. The inputs and outputs are a little limited in the grand scheme of things, but perfect for phone and tablet type stuff, and watch. And we've got a solar panel that is just about perfectly matched with it. Super portable, easy to use. I like the fact that the little solar controller here is actually a magnetic closure for the panel itself. That's really nifty. And it's able to pump out more power than this thing can take, which is a good thing. You should be able to saturate this with the power coming in, 18 watts coming in. So as you're going about your adventures, whether it's hiking, fishing, camping, whatever it is, you've got a power bank to keep your devices charged, and you've got a solar panel to keep your power bank charged. Now, one more nifty thing that I saw that I didn't mention before is this built-in cable here is actually the same as this cable. And it's just placed in here by a USB-C port inside there. So that's kind of neat. So if you're concerned about these guys wearing out, maybe that's why they give you an extra one. But I think that's kind of nifty. Now, I will openly admit I've never been a big fan of USB-C solar panels, but that's because I'm used to reviewing big 100, 200, 300 watt portable solar panels with MC4 connectors or XT60 connectors for your power stations. And my first real test of a USB-C solar panel was the EcoFlow 45 watt panel, and that EcoFlow 45 watt panel doesn't output 45 watts from the USB-C connector. It only outputs, maybe half of that. So in this case, you've got a device that is meant to be USB-C. It's listed as 12 volts, 3 amps output. That's the 36 watts. And based on what I've tested, I've got no doubts that you can get that. So altogether, this is a nice little combo kit. Like I said, I grabbed it on Amazon. I'll leave a link down below. I happen to get it on a really good sale, so definitely keep an eye out for sales. I would think anytime Amazon does a Prime Day or Black Friday or holiday sale of any sort, it should drop down in price. So just keep an eye on it, and when it gets down to a price that's low enough for you to grab, there you go. But I think that's going to wrap it up for this review. Hope you got something out of it. If you did, I appreciate a thumbs up. That helps out the channel. Go ahead and check out the rest of the channel. Like I said, lots of other power bank reviews, solar panel stuff, solar generators, all kinds of nifty stuff, and then basically anything else geeky. If you got any questions about this, go ahead and drop those down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. But I think that's going to do it for this review. I thank you as always for watching, and until next time, peace out and geek out.